Welcome to Too Old, Too New, the music discovery podcast that brings you something old, something new, something Nate, something Bruce. I'm Nate Runkle, host of the Yo, That's My Jawn podcast, and with me, as always, is my good friend Bruce Warren from WXPN. The premise of this show is simple. Each week, we bring you two songs apiece. One new song that's been metaphorically spinning our turntable platters, and one old song that we believe still absolutely matters. Almost forgot my name there. That was new.
Nate, I'm glad you remembered it.
It's the heat. The heat is getting to me.
It's the heat. You know what? Now that I'm in sort of my semi-retirement mode, there'd be days like this, 100-degree days, when I'd be like, man, I wish I was at the pool. But you know where I was today? I was at the pool.
Yes.
Beautiful
That's
thing.
Yeah. That's all retirement should be, is just days at the pool, if you ask me. How was your weekend? Good?
It was good. Yeah, it was very mellow. It was very, very mellow. How about you?
It was hectic with that big storm. That big storm was the day of my performance down at Fringe Arts for Risk storytelling, and normally it takes me around half hour, 40 minutes to get down to the city. It took me an hour and a half.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I texted Kevin Allison, the host, and I was like, "Hey, running a little late, but gonna be there." And he was like, "No worries, no rush. You're on first." And I was like, "Wait, you said no rush."
So did you have to hop over any down trees or wires to get into
I didn't, but my father-in-law did. Yeah. Supposedly one fell, I think, two cars in front of him and like a few cars behind him, and they kind of got pigeoned in. So
wow.
Yeah. Did you get any damage near you, or?
There were some. Yeah, there were some. We got big trees out in our neighborhood, but by and large, there's one sort of major street that is sort of at the end of my street, which is a pretty major thoroughfare, and that was blocked off for about 24 hours. So I noticed, like, almost immediately when it was storming, and my street never gets any cars coming down it. Yeah. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, there's a car. Oh, wait, there's another car. There must be something. And then I heard sirens, and, I literally put my raincoat on and I ran down the street, and I had my phone and I took some video of it and I sent it to NBC 10 and 6ABC, but nobody aired it. So
nobody aired it? They don't know good footage when they get it.
I was hoping I would shake them down for some cash.
I love it. And then Saturday, I played this gig at Hares Hill Brewery in Pottstown. Okay. And one of the worst things ever happened to me in my life at a live show, and that was at the end of the night, one of the waitresses, I think she was trying to pull one over on me. She goes, "Do you know any Taylor Swift?" And I looked at the clock, and there was 10 minutes left in my gig, and so I played All Too Well, Taylor's version.
I hope you played All Too Well.
I did. And I got done playing, and she goes, "That was incredible." She goes, "Are you a dad?" And I said, "No." And she goes, "Well, then how do you know Taylor Swift?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm old. I'm an old man now. I'm officially dead."
Wait. You said it was like the worst thing that ever happened. Why was it the worst?
She called me old, Bruce.
Oh, come on, man. Fuck that shit.
It's not fair.
Oh, you're older now, dude.
I am.
I'm
elder. But so we have some great music here, and we should probably get into it. For new, we're kind of on the same thing here. HAIM just released their latest album, I Quit. And I'm an enormous HAIM fan. I don't know. I think the first time I heard them, I saw them on Saturday Night Live do The Wire. And I was immediately just like, "Oh, did I just find my new favorite band?" And this has just continued on. The song "Want You Back" is one of my favorite songs of all time, and so I have been looking forward to this album, and it did not disappoint. All right, and I'm gonna play my new one first from it. It's "Down to Be Wrong." And it's just a vibe. So let's listen to a little HAIM. This is "Down to Be Wrong."
From the window seat,
I saw them perform this on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and I got to tell you, those three are the coolest fucking people in the world, man. Like they look like they were having so much fun. They were just rocking out, and that song is just a bop, just an absolute bop.
Yeah, it's a great tune. So it took me a few minutes to get into this record. I listened to the first 6 songs, and it wasn't doing much for me. I mean, I think the first single, "Relationships," is like the first or second track on the album, I think. But it didn't do anything for me. I set it aside, and then I kind of went back to it a day later to sort of give it, a fair listen. And I picked it up like right in the middle of the record with "Lucky Stars," and literally from track 8 through the last record, I fell in love. Like I was like glued to the stereo. And what HAIM have done for 3 albums now. This is their 3rd album, right? Yeah, I think.
Fourth.
They've kind of taken the classic rock, particularly the sound of California, starting with Laurel Canyon in the 60s and 70s, and they've given it a 21st century feel. There's classic rock touches all over this record. They've recontextualized, I think, many of their influences thanks to this amazing production of this record. Rostam, formerly of Vampire Weekend, and Danielle produced the record. And I've always noticed, to my ears anyway, a fair amount of Fleetwood Macisms in their songs. And I think "I Quit" is sort of their Tusk.
Oh, I can
Right.
see that. Yeah.
Right. It's their Tusk. It's quirky. There's parts of it that are stripped down. Even the beats, the lo-fi beats, sort of fit into the overall song structures that they have. I mean, it's really wonderfully produced. And I wanted to do this song. It's called "Everybody's Trying to Figure Me Out."
I lost count of the ticket. They might have saved my life.
I think this song is going to be the breakout song of the record, after all is said and done. And the reason why I kind of zeroed in on Tusk was because this song in particular reminds me of what makes you think I'm the one.
Yes.
Like in a weird way. But it's an amazing record. And I went back to the beginning, and because I fell so much in love with the second half of the record, the whole thing now is just like I've been listening to it nonstop for the last couple of days. So good stuff. So what
Yeah.
do you think? What do you think? So I heard an interview with them on NPR, in which they talked about all 3 of them are not in a relationship at this point of their lives. And I think that had a lot to do with the making of the record. They talked about how they just had a ton of fun in the studio, and they didn't have to worry about their +1s during the
Yeah.
recording of it. I think that was an actual quote. So what's your take on that whole thing?
Okay, let's get out the red string. So here it
Uh-oh.
is. All right, there is so much going on this album. All right, and I kind of recognized it a little bit with the singles. And then when I sat down to listen to it, it all started to unfold for me. And it all is around this idea of relationships and the end of, relationships and stuff like that. And what I started to notice is kind of the song references that exist on this album throughout. All right. So we open up with Gone, right? And Gone samples Freedom, George Michael.
Right.
And then we close with what's the last
Now
song?
It's
Now
Time.
It's Time, that
Right.
samples Numb. All right, by U2, which I didn't have a U2 Numb sample in my bingo card ever, but like of all songs, right? But also it led me back to Zooropa, and I was like, I think I gotta listen to that. This might be the summer I revisit or I relive with Zooropa. But throughout, there's all these like little kind of hidden homages and kind of things to other songs, but not just other songs that have relationships themes. So you mentioned Fleetwood Mac, which obviously, all of the relationships with everybody in the band.
Right.
Right. I had picked Down to Be Wrong, right? And the first time I heard it, I immediately thought of, as I continue on in this, let me just go into my old real quick, because my old is Good to Be King by Tom Petty, which vocally in the verse is like not identical, but cadence wise, just right there. So this is Good to Be King by Tom Petty.
It's good to be king.
So
Dude,
that's,
you just underscored my point about these classic rock, things that
Isms.
they put into their songs. Like
Yeah.
you recognize them, and sometimes you go, wait a second, where do I know this from? Right?
yeah.
But you're right. It's the way they drop everything from the vocals to the instrumentation into the mix are it really brings you back to so much of the great canon of work that we've experienced through so many great artists over the years.
Yeah, and here's where the red string comes in, because why that Good to Be King is on Wildflowers, the Rick Rubin produced album, right? And Tom Petty considers Wildflowers to be his divorce record.
Oh,
Oh, do you
hey,
see? Do you see what's going on here?
you see what's going on here?
Yeah. Also, I was in digging into all this. I was looking at a little bit of Rick Rubin, right? And I just got to say, Rick, ever since Johnny Cash passed away, that track record's not as good as it was when it started, was it? It's fine. He produced some of the greatest records of all time. Like I'm not trying to take away from him, but also,
Yes.
but yeah. So there's all these different kinds of themes in there. Like I hear a little Sheryl Crow in there. Also on this
Yep.
album, the kind of especially that era when she broke up with Clapton. So like, and then on top of that, there's a bunch.
Wait. Time out.
Yeah.
Sheryl Crow was with Clapton.
From what I understand, Greatest Mistake. I don't know if this is true or not. This is all lore.
Okay. Right.
From what I understand, Greatest Mistake is about Clapton.
Oh, I never knew.
I don't know how true. Maybe I'm
knew
just
that.
spreading rumors. I don't know, but and then adding to this, leading up to all of or to this release, the sisters have been recreating all these paparazzi photos from famous breakups. So like there's Jared Leto and Nicole Kidman
Right.
and Kate Moss and Brad Pitt and stuff like that. So I feel like there's something that at one point is going to click, and I'm going to see it all, and I'm going to realize how truly masterful this album is. But right now, it just fucking rocks.
It's that's all you need, man. Sometimes, right? Sometimes all you need is the fucking rock.
That's exactly it. And boy, do they provide.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, and another tidbit that I just learned today in doing research for this, Esty, the bass player, plays tambourine a lot on this album, and she actually played tambourine on an Adele record. I think Adele's last record, and she played tambourine on Joanne by Lady Gaga. So if you
Okay.
so
Thank you.
who realized she was a high caliber tambourine player
In demand.
in demand?
Exactly. Hey, get Esty on the phone.
We need tambourines.
We need tambourine. That's awesome. That's awesome.
So what do you have for old?
I got a song by Cass Elliott. Many folks know Cass Elliott as Mama Cass, who was one of the members of the Mamas and the Papas back in the 60s. They had a string of sunshiny pop hits that was like ridiculous. Monday, Monday, California Dreamin', Go Where You Want to Go. And those three songs were all in their first album that came out in 1966. I mean, they could have just left it at that, right?
Yeah.
But the band broke up in 68-ish, 69-ish, and then Mama Cass Elliott, went on to a pretty good solo career. And the song is from Cass's second album, Bubblegum, Lemonade, and Something for Mama. It came out in 1969. And it's Mama Cass. It's make your own kind of music.
You're gonna be my kind of music, even if nobody else sings along.
It's so
I'll tell you why I thought of this song a couple days ago. I thought of this song a couple days ago because I'm getting more and more depressed and hateful about everything that's happening in the world right now. And I'm leaning more and more into music than ever before, just to keep me going, you know?
Yeah.
And the phrase, you got to make your own kind of music, just sort of popped into my head, you know, sing your own special song. Like, you know, even if nobody else sings along. And that's how I kind of feel these days, you know?
Oh, for sure.
And,
Oh,
you
go ahead.
know, because I can't talk to anybody about what the fuck is going on in the world. I don't want to talk to anybody about, because it just gets me angry, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, very
So,
much.
you know, outside of music and, you know, Law and Order repeats, Criminal Intent, you know, that's my world now.
That's
It's kind of sad,
no, but
but I recognize it, and that's what's giving me strength: music and Law and Order. So there you go.
I get it because like you know, 2016 after that election, I didn't that was very similar. Like I'm you know, obviously a big podcast listener and stuff like that. I didn't want to listen to anybody talk, period. I did like a deep dive into that Pacific Northwest tour in 70 from the Pacific Northwest shows from like 72 to 74 of the Grateful Dead. And that was like all I listened to. And like and it's true, like there is a comfort in music that you kind of can't find anywhere else, which is why like I don't know why I'm going to try to spiral this or twist this into this, but like, you know, I texted you that I started reading Liz Pelly's book, Mood Music, about Spotify. And like, the more and more I read it, like, I'm just getting angrier and angrier that we kind of let this tech company control music and kind of control even what kind of music is being made so that people can score places on playlists and stuff like that. Like it just it makes me so angry because I know that music is such a perfect expression that we need in times like this. So like when everything is homogenized and commodified the way that kind of streaming has done, we're kind of without our weapons. Do
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Fuck the man.
Fuck the man. My God, let's
Fuck
go out in the
the man.
streets right now.
Fuck the man.
No, it's crazy, but like you said, man, there is music out there that is still being made that's still kind of bucking the system, and
Yeah,
like it's just a little more challenging to find. But
yeah.
luckily, you have two guys like us that come to you every week and
There
bring
you
you
go,
new
Nate.
and
There you
old
go.
music that you can find on our Spotify playlist, which is also really ironic, as I just said, fuck Spotify. You can find all of our music on that playlist, though, and I wish you do. And then.
Oh my God.
It will be in the show notes. You can find us on the socials. Bruce is at Some Velvet Blog. I'm at Yo, That's My Jawn. You can find us on Substack. You can find this video if you're not watching it already on Substack. And of course, you can hear Bruce every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on WXPN or xpn.org. Or you can hear me on Yo, That's My Jawn, the podcast. This Monday, my interview with David Lowery will be out from Cracker and Camper Van Beethoven. And that's another one where we kind of dovetail into some dark topics as well. But
Yeah.
it's kind of where we're at. What are you going to do?
Hey,
but,
I'm so glad that you had a chance to talk to David Lowery. I mean, you know, you just went off on this little anti-Spotify thing, but like, I cannot wait to hear. You know, David Lowery's a really smart guy. Camper Van, obviously, Cracker, and he's been sort of at the forefront of artist rights, and I can't wait for the conversation. So good move on that.
It's great.
Good move.
It's really great. Yeah. So like, subscribe, rate, review, tell your friends, share it. Sell us to your friends. Just like be like, hey, I know these two guys. You like music? Well, why don't you listen to their show? Go to them. All right. We'll catch you
buddy.
next time.
Good to see you.
Too old, too new, we're the truth. Come on, hang with me, Bruce. Too old, too new, we're the truth. Come on, hang with me, Bruce. Too old, too new, we're the truth.